Severe weather is expected to barrel through the central U.S. this weekend and could continue into next week. The storm system is threatening to bring severe storms, tornadoes, large hail, and damaging winds to large parts of the country. The National Weather Service Storm Prediction Center estimates tens of millions of people are in the storm's path. This is the same system that covered the Sierra Nevada mountains in blankets of snow Thursday and triggered torrential rainstorms throughout California earlier in the week. To take us through what to expect in the next few days, let's bring in CBS News contributing meteorologist Jeff Berardelli. Good to have you with us on set.
It is good to be here. It's going to be a very active stretch of weather the next few days.
Yeah. So take us through what we've seen so far and what's happening.
Right. What we've seen so far is snow in the Sierra Nevada up to around 10 inches in places like Mammoth Mountain, all the way up through Tahoe. And there's going to be another round of heavy snow later in the weekend, early on Monday, for another foot and a half of snowfall. Also, we've had a couple of reports already of tornadoes during the day today. There was one in southwest Texas, and I just saw literally Roger Hill. He's a very experienced storm chaser with over 30 years under his belt in the Plain States. Somewhere in Nebraska or Kansas, just had a tornado touchdown literally a couple of seconds ago. And another one in Nebraska as well. So it's happening right now as we speak. You can see the two bullseyes, one in southwest Texas, one especially in Nebraska up through South Dakota, and that's going to be heading into the Minneapolis area overnight tonight. And tomorrow, the threat area is going to be eastern Texas, also into Arkansas, as you can see, and eastern parts of Oklahoma. There we could see another threat for some tornadoes tomorrow.
You know, I'm looking at this map, and it's like the entire interior of the country. It seems like we're talking about millions of Americans.
42 million.
Yeah.
42 million people are in the path of this severe weather outbreak. And this is just the first one, because there's actually going to be another one as we head to Monday and Tuesday. But let's take you through this one first.
Okay.
We have a future radar that we're going to show you. It's kind of an hour-by-hour look at what the progression of the system is going to be. So first of all, we're going to see the storms really materialize and start to blow up, especially in the upper Midwest and Plain States. You can see it right there. So here we are at 7 o'clock tonight. That will progress into Minneapolis. It might wake you up in the middle of the night in Minneapolis with strong to severe thunderstorms and tornadoes possible. Early tomorrow morning, another round. Again, severe weather, Dallas, Oklahoma City. Look at tomorrow. Everything just explodes during the afternoon. Plain States, Midwest, some of the places hardest hit by all that heavy rain earlier in the season. Big squall line, the middle of the night, St. Louis, and also into Little Rock, Arkansas, that Saturday night. And Sunday afternoon, it breaks up a little bit. Things get a little better, but still the threat for some scattered severe weather in parts of the Ohio Valley. So that is on Sunday. By the time it gets to the East Coast, not much is actually going to be left late Sunday into Monday.
So that is the good news. And you just mentioned this a second ago, though. There's the potential for more happening next week.
Yeah, this is probably by far, I think, the most intense part of this system.
Okay.
So we have a very active Pacific jet stream. We have the jet stream kind of bending to the south on Monday. Look at that upper level low across the deep southwest. That is a really strong low with a really strong jet stream attached to it. So that's one ingredient. It's that right there, which is kind of a cold pool of air in the upper atmosphere. So picture this, lots of cold air in the upper atmosphere, lots of warmth at the surface, and a lot of humidity emerging out of the Gulf of Mexico. That all kind of comes together across Texas and Oklahoma. And look at the winds in the upper atmosphere. They're from the southwest. Lower atmosphere, the winds are from the southeast. That shear, we call it shear, winds coming from different directions in different parts of the atmosphere, twists and turns the thunderstorms and can cause some very big tornadoes. So we're looking at the possibility or probability of significant tornadoes, West Texas through Oklahoma into Kansas on Monday, and that threat moves east into places like Missouri as we head into Tuesday.
You know, wild weather is no stranger in the spring, but this just seems like every Friday, every Saturday, every week we're talking about crazy weather. Is this anything out of the ordinary, or is this pretty typical for this time of year?
It's fairly typical, but there's the added bonus of a couple of things that are happening right now. First of all, we have an El Nino. So we have a specifically strong subtropical jet stream. Not really contributing to this particular outbreak right now, but last week's and the week before, El Nino contributed to that because it's really warm water in the Pacific, kind of fuels or energizes the subtropical jet stream. And number two, something called the MJO. It's called the Madden-Julian Oscillation. Okay. So it's a tropical pulse of energy near India, makes its way all across the Pacific, and right now it's arriving in the western part of the United States, and it's kind of energizing these systems as they move in from the Pacific. So yes, it's a little unusual because we have all these things kind of lining up right now, but things will get quieter by the end of the month. And wait until you see how hot it gets in places like Atlanta. By next Saturday, could be 100 degrees or near 100 degrees. Record-breaking temperatures possible in the eastern part of the country, especially the southeast by next weekend.
Quiet by the end of the month. That sounds good to me.
I think it's going to get quieter. Yeah.
Jeff Berardelli. Jeff, thank you for being with us.
You're welcome.